Nate, what was the thing that you were looking at a comment on some of the CMS stuff, about what is it
Yeah.
going to create, or the loss? What was that one?
So I encourage everybody, if you're bored this weekend, maybe, or tomorrow, dive into the final rule and read the comments for the HEI. There's a ton of them, and CMS is required to address them. But there was one commenter that stated that, and I'm just going to read this to you all. Many plans will need to increase the number of enrollees with social risk factors after the current reward factor is removed in order to qualify for the HEI reward, even in areas where this may not be possible. And this commenter said that they did not feel like that consequence is aligned with CMS's goals of reducing disparities among existing membership. So there is a comment buried in CMS's response that said, in our simulations using data from 2021 star ratings, no contracts lost QBPs when the HEI reward replaced the current reward factor, which in all the other simulation data, they kind of like tiptoed around that. And in the response to this question actually said, well, nobody actually lost their QBP status, not just when we took the reward factor away, which is the analysis that Mick and his team did, but when we added the HEI reward in and replaced it. So I have questions based on that comment, right? This is expected to generate like $5.1 billion in savings. That can't all be from just the rebates.
Right.
So curious as to what you guys think, maybe is going to be driving a lot of that savings.
Well, I think that statement, while absolutely true, I think is actually misleading in a way, in terms of giving people a level of comfort that is probably not deserved, because like in the modeling that we did, 55% of 4+ star or reward factor plans lost a half a star's rating, but none of the 4 stars did. And the reason for that is exactly what you guys have kind of touched on already. The thresholds to be eligible for reward factor are above 3.76. So before you can even qualify to get reward factor, you've got to be in 4 stars. So when they take away reward factor, no, none of the 4-star plans would lose it because you were already there. It just gave you more of a cushion, right? But where I think that changes is Stars 2024 and the beauty of Tukey, right? All the analysis that we've done on Tukey, you're seeing these plans, again, performance stays the same, dropping 15, 20, and some well more than that points. And so on average, if you're seeing these drops, what that means is the reward factor threshold, which is, the 85% for the high or the 65% for the relatively high, those are also going to drop because overall performance drops. And so if you see those drop down to 3.65, 3.7 for the 65%, all of a sudden you're going to have contracts that do get into 4 stars because of reward factor, right? And that's going to happen this year, Stars 2024, when the numbers come out this year. And so I think that's where the savings end up being, because if you then extrapolate that out for the next 10 years, you're going to have a lot of plans that are their means are below 4 stars, but reward factor gets them in. Does that make sense?
Yeah. So is it safe to then say reward factor is the 5-star maker, but not the 4-star maker historically?
Traditionally, it has not been the 4-star maker, because if you think back, there's only been 1 year since Stars 2018 where that threshold to hit reward factor was below 3.76. And that was Stars 2019. And it was down at 3.70 and 3.71 for, with and without QI. So no, you're right. Never been a 4-star maker, but absolutely a 5-star maker.